Okay. I think I'm doing this right. Hello, I am Destiny. And I I really don't know how to begin this video. The last couple of days that I've been here. Hold on. So sorry. I have to put okay. So I think I'm doing this right. I hope this live saves to my profile. That way everyone can see this and look at it and revisit it. If not, I guess I'll have to do a story time that is going to be a lot of videos. But I'm hoping that this live saves to my profile and it's able to I guess give everyone some kind of insight into what happened the last time that I posted on Snapchat, which was about the incident in Bellagio. So I see that a lot of people have been saying that I should have called the police when it came to this particular incident with this young lady. And let me put out there and say that the police were called, but we didn't call the police. And let me just put that out there. My husband and I did not call the police. Okay. And let me say this too. I have family and friends that are in law enforcement. I have family and friends that are military. I have family and friends that are retired that work for local casinos where we work, where we live. And the thing about it is that these hotels employ whether it be retired Marine, retired law enforcement, different no, sweetheart, I'm not going live with anybody. Different law enforcement. And I'm guessing depending on their history or what they've done when they were in law enforcement or military, depending on the property that these people will be allowed to have firearms or whatever the case may be. Apparently, Bellagio does not have that. They just have strict security, and then they have like a security manager who is like ex-law enforcement. I don't know what the situation is with that, and I didn't ask. So just to put it out there about what happened and what we heard and how we handled it is that we are here celebrating our 1-year anniversary. We are here celebrating our birthdays, right? So this is supposed to be 100% relaxing. We stayed at the Bellagio. We stayed at other hotels on the strip before when we come. And this particular night, as you can see, I'm not like the healthiest person in the world, but I am fully vaccinated. So let me put that out there, is that I'm here to get away from the life that I have in Indiana. I am a nurse in Indiana. I'm an acute rehab nurse. I've been a nurse for 5 years. My husband is an engineering supervisor. So we need a vacation. We have 3 kids. We have 3 dogs. We have a lot of stuff going on in Indiana. So we come here to relax. I was tired. I was not feeling well. I laid down and I went to sleep. My husband stayed up. The fighting started about 30 minutes before I woke up. And what my husband woke me up, he's like, babe, you know what I'm saying? You hear that? And I heard it. I was hearing something, but I just was like, okay, maybe it's somebody arguing. Initially, what we heard was arguing. Okay? That's all that we heard. He was screaming. He was calling her out of her name. Just an argument that most couples have. And honestly, we've been in hotels, we've been out in public where couples are arguing. As long as nobody's putting their hands on each other, anything like that, or doesn't seem to be escalating, we don't get involved. And I don't think really anybody should. If you're arguing, my husband and I argue, my kids argue, as long as I'm not taking something and hitting him with it, then you should let a couple be a couple. It escalated to the point to where we heard the ice bucket, the metal ice bucket, hit the wall. And then at that point, we're like, ooh, it's starting to get physical. This particular room that we were staying in, it's an adjoining suite. So I'm pretty sure if you all stayed in the hotel, they have like a door on one side and the other side that if we were staying with like a bunch of family, that we would be able to walk in between rooms. This particular room had that door. So it's just like a regular door that you see at your house. You can hear everything through the door. And I'm like, okay, so I went and I stood by the door to hear what was going on. The next thing that I hear is this, like somebody had like dropped a luggage on the floor. And I heard her go like, ooh, like that. That led me to believe that he had body slammed her on the wall, on the floor. And I hear her saying, Charles, please stop. Charles, please stop. Now at this time, we aren't recording. My husband was not recording when what he heard. When we heard the body slamming noise or whatever like that, my husband's like, I'm finna go over there. And I'm pretty sure you all know about what's going on in the world today and things like that, that even good Samaritans get hurt, whether that be by the police or by the person that, you know, they're trying to intervene. Specifically, there was a guy in Michigan that was just trying to break up a fight between a couple, and he ended up getting stabbed and murdered because he was just trying to defuse that situation. And my husband is not the one to stand by and see or listen or witness anything like that, especially domestic violence. And when he and I first got together as a couple, I was very, very open and frank with him about my history. I am a domestic violence survivor. I was in an abusive relationship, very abusive relationship, for over 4 years. Unfortunately, I have children with my abuser, but you can't blame us, I feel like, because I'm going to skip to when security did come. We called downstairs and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll send somebody up. They did come up fairly quickly. I'll give them that. They came upstairs very, very, very quickly. And you can, you know, we didn't open the door and admit that it was us or anything like that. But my problem was that the way that she was screaming, like, I can't breathe. Charles, please stop. I can't breathe. Stop, stop, stop. And he kept calling her, you disgusting bitch. I should kill you. You know, all of these things that if you have a heart, you're not going to sit there and let somebody threaten someone's life or hear them being body slammed against the wall. Like, these hotels' walls are ass thin. Their wall, well, where our TV was at, that's where their TV was. So when he threw her up against the wall, you heard the glass that was on the mini bar break. So I'm not understanding why. And I'm reading the comments, y'all. Real shit. I didn't realize it was going to go like this on TikTok. And I thank everybody. Cammie from Catfish, I almost cried. I love her. But I'm reading the comments. And I understand that in the age of social media is trolls and it's children that don't know any better. Or there are men who feel like that they have rights to hit the women that they're with. Let me also tell you another thing. Is that I'm not from Las Vegas. I come out here every once in a while. But part of being a nurse is that I have seen women come through my emergency room. I have seen women admitted to my hospital that are domestic violence victims. I have seen children who have been sex trafficked and sexually abused in my hospital. I have treated these people. I have walked with families to identify these bodies when they come in and they're dead on arrival. When the guy just pushes them out in front of the emergency room and drives off. So you cannot actually sit here and make it seem like it's okay to be silent. Mind my business. When I was a domestic violence survivor, I got a lot of my family involved. My dad, my brothers, my cousins, my male family members. And every time I would say, yeah, go, he hit me, he dragged me, my ex broke 4 of my ribs. My ex caused me to miscarry one of my twins when I have an older daughter. Now she's 12. So I know what all of this is about. And the way that when security came up, he's like, oh, no, you know, we're fine. She's fine. She's fine. He spoke for her the entire time. She said nothing. When security came up and they pulled him into the hallway, she said nothing. And we're looking through the peephole at this. So I didn't, we didn't step out and say, oh yeah, we heard, stop lying, blah, blah, blah. We didn't do that. We looked through the peephole. I looked through the peephole. And my husband was listening to the door. And security came up. It was a white guy. Walked them down the hallway. And we're like, okay. It was silent. I guess they allowed her to stay in the room because I can hear her crying through the door. Not even 10 minutes later, I hear the door open next door and it slams. How hotel doors are. They're kind of heavy, so they make like a clunk clunk sound. No. The way this door closed, somebody slammed it like, and I sat up. I said, who is that? Guess who was back in the room after 10 minutes? Charles. And now, with abusers, they get mad when anybody intervenes, whether it was us calling or whether somebody witnessed him do it. The abuser's gonna blame the woman. Well, look, you trying to get me arrested, and why would you cry? Why would you try to get away? This is what I want these people in the comments that do not understand domestic violence. This is what happens. I pray to God that you all educate yourself, not because of what I'm posting on TikTok about what I witnessed, because there are a lot of things that I've witnessed that I don't have a video for, and I will never be the same. My children witnessed me getting abused and body slammed and stabbed in my stomach, stabbed in my neck, stabbed in my side. My children saw that. And if you really expect, now, I'm not saying that domestic violence survivors don't have that strength, but that's what they do. They make it seem like we're powerless, we're nobodies. Well, nobody's going to want you. And if you do this, I'm going to come after you and kill you. I challenge all of you to Google women killed by domestic violence within the last 30 days alone. I've seen 15, 20 articles. These mass shootings. The guy is mad. A NFL player's daughter was murder-suicide. There was another lady. The guy killed his son and the wife and turned the gun on himself. So please stop coming to me in my comments like this is not a problem. In Las Vegas, these women are being sex trafficked out here. These women are being kidnapped and put into these situations. It's pimping and hoeing. This ain't the 90s. This is 2021. This shit is still going on. So please stop acting like that this is just normal, because it is not. It is not okay. And I hate that people are just saying, well, you should have just minded your business. I'm not going to mind my fucking business. If I hear somebody getting beat up or whatever, I'm going to step in and intervene safely. So let's get to the police part. And let me address, and I'm not going to put people's screen names and stuff up. I wanted to, but my husband was like, no. The people who are watching this now, you know what you said. And somebody's going to say, well, oh, you didn't call 911. Again, these hotels out here, when the police do come, they're going to say, oh, yeah, we got that call. We got it all handled and straightened out. And they don't, the Metro doesn't have any rights in any of these hotels, especially if the hotel employs their own private security or they employ armed guard or whatever. The police are only allowed, and this is me asking, what happens? When we were walking up and down the strip, I asked Metro, are you allowed to go into these hotels when somebody calls 911? And the 3 Metro police officers that I asked said no. They said, if there is a situation that the hotel cannot handle by themselves with their own security, with their own whoever, that's when they get Metro involved. So if I call 911, if you called 911, if she called 911, the only people who would be able to respond to these calls would be hotel security. Okay? And then in the Bellagio, when the police got that, you got to have a whole damn key to get up on any of the floors. Imagine the delay. I called who I knew would be able to get up there quick enough, and it was security. They came, but they let him back in the room 10 minutes after everything happened. So I feel like we did our part. And I did stop my husband from going over there, because when somebody is drunk, they get to talking all crazy, and the way he was calling her bitches and hoes and all of that stuff like that, I felt like my husband would have only been able to have so much restraint in him. And if this guy swung or tried to hit my husband, then it would have been a whole nother situation, and we don't have to talk about what happens when that happened, when it's somebody fighting and nobody knows who the aggressor is, and then someone ends up getting shot and killed. So that's why I begged my husband to not intervene by going next door, because he was literally about to open the door from our adjoining room, and their door's right there, and bam on that door and go and see what was going on. And I told him, do not do that, because we wouldn't know what the outcome would be. So again, I 100% totally understand that there are people who just do not agree with how we handled what happened at the Bellagio. And everybody is entitled to their opinion. Okay? I'm not about to, and it's like I'm trying not to get emotional, because when I heard her screaming, I can't breathe. Please stop, Charles. Please stop. That was me when I was in that situation. And I was in that situation for a really, really, really long time. It was a long time. And, I'm thankful that I woke up one day after he had beat me up really bad the night before. And I'm like, I'm not taking this shit no more. And he was at work. And I got my kids. And I left. And you really can't talk to us about, well, why don't you just leave? Because it's so much deeper than that. And at the time that I had I've always been educated. I have 6 associate degrees across many different fields. I'm a nurse. I'm very educated. But, my pregnancies were really, really rough with my last 2 kids. And so I didn't have that luxury of working. So then the dependency on your abuser is there now, because they're working and you're at home. And I couldn't work. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. So I everything that I needed financial wise came from my abuser. And that's why I was trapped in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get a chance to get that freedom until after I had my kids, my last daughter. And, it's really, really, really hard to get out of that situation, especially if you're not moving far away or anything like that. And let me say something else too. It is so hard for us to get restraining orders. You have to literally go to the judge, blue and black. And even when you do come to court and it's obvious you've been abused, they still will not give you a restraining order. I'm speaking for Indiana. It is so hard to get a restraining order. It is almost impossible to get a restraining order. And what Indiana courts do is that they give you a restraining order for 2 years. And when it's time for you to renew the restraining order, your court date lands outside of the restraining order window to where it's already expired. And then you have to reapply again. So it lapses and you have no protection until your court date 2 months later. And realistically speaking, they don't enforce it. And this is just me speaking for Indiana. They really don't enforce it. And when I went to try to keep the restraining order renewed, this judge said, well, I'm just going to renew it for another year. After that, I'm not renewing it anymore. So you have to understand, it's not just calling the police. They don't sleep outside the door. He didn't come sleep in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like the protection leaves when they leave. And again, if you aren't able or capable to leave your abuser or move out or do whatever, you're trapped by that person. You can't leave. You cannot leave. And they don't make it easy. So I just wanted to like put that out there. I mean, I don't know what other kind of explaining that I really don't have to explain. I shouldn't be explaining this, because it's like hitting my head against a brick wall trying to tell, you know what I'm saying, like people who either have never experienced domestic violence or know anyone that's in domestic. If you only read about domestic violence in the news or on Yahoo or saw it on TV, you have no idea what we go through. You have absolutely no idea at all. And it's not okay to blame the one, well, you should leave. It's not that easy, because even though you have an abuser and you make the police report, the paper trail is what they call it, they will still make you have this person come over and get your kids if you have something in common, or you know, or if they're still on the lease, you have to live out the rest of your lease. Like it's not that easy. Please stop saying that. Stop. Okay, just stop. Because again, as a domestic violence, you cannot tell me what I could have done when I didn't have anything. He took everything from me. I wasn't able to work. Where the hell am I going with no money? I have a degree. I have several associate degrees, and I'm a nurse. I can go wherever the hell I want. But when you're in a situation where you can't work and you have to depend upon the person who's bringing money into the house, you cannot go anywhere. And when you do, what do? They come find you. I can't fly to California. I'm down the street around the corner at my homegirl house. He knows where I'm staying. And my abuser had guns. So one of my friends saying like, oh, you can't stay here, girl. I got kids and shit. And I understood that. But where am I going? Where do we go? The battered shelters? Where do we go? Can someone tell me where do we go? And a lot of these women that are out here, they flee their family. They've been on their own for a really long time. They don't have any family. So they turn to these people, these pimps, these whoever, to, you know, give them a little bit of attention or anything like that. And then it ends up like that. I don't know if they were husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. That could have been pimp and hoe or prostitute and John. I don't know. And I don't know. So I'm sorry. Update as far as this young lady. I know everybody's been asking about that. I'm so sorry. I went on to this rant because I'm literally reading thousands and thousands and thousands of comments and inboxes and stuff. And everybody is just asking me, well, why didn't you call the police? We did. Well, the person that called the police, when we were leaving, because this happened around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, we went down to the desk and I asked to speak to management. I asked to speak to the head of security, whose name is Charles. So Charles the security and Charles the abuser. How ironic. You saw me say that in the video. And the way security was looking at me when I'm talking to him at the desk, he's like, okay. I'm sorry you had to hear that. And that's when I got upset. Because I'm like, can you go, like, check on her? Like, go right now. And that's where the whole right now thing happened at the video. And he slowly walked his ass away and went out and then walked behind me or whatever like that. There was a couple who was down at the bar that, like, when you walk into the Bellagio, it's the check-in desk. It's the piano with the bar, whatever like that. And it's the Hermes store. And when I tell you I was loud, this was 2 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you I was loud telling that fucking security manager off, I was loud. And they overheard what I was saying. These people that approached us after we walked away from me telling off the security, they were in the room directly underneath them. Directly. And they said that they called the police. And security called them back in their room and said, hey, did you happen to call 911? Is everything okay? And she said that they told, like, hey, we hearing some, some stomping, some fighting, blah, 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 blah. We just want to make sure that the person in the room is okay. The people beneath this room called the police, and security called them back and asked them why they called the police. And either police didn't show up, or security just told them it was okay, or whatever. But the police were called, and they were not allowed to come up to that room. So there's your answer. As far as the lady being okay. Ring service. Sorry. Oh, shit. As far as the young lady being okay. In the morning, when I talked to management, they told me that... Who is it?
Ms. Blackman?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
You want to take cash or do you want a room charge?
Cash.
Cash, okay. Your total was $93.88. I'll hold this right up front for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got the bill.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. The following morning, we went down and we spoke to the manager. The manager of guest operations is what he called himself. How much did you say? 93.88. Okay. Sorry, I'm hungry. And I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Can we just copy your doing while you change that?
No.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Sorry. We're at a totally different hotel. I have to get the hell out of the Bellagio. We got room service. All right, sorry. We called the guest experience manager reached out to us. He called us the next morning and he asked how I was doing and things like that. And I'm like, listen, I'm okay. How is the young lady that we, called about, last night? And I wasn't asking him to give me this girl's phone number or address. I just simply, the first thing that I asked him was, is she okay? Is she alive? Is she okay? He said, we're dealing with this internally. I really can't tell you that information. And hearing that upset me because he's saying that hotel policy is that he couldn't give me an update on her. And again, it's not like I was asking for her name, her contact information, anything. When he called our room at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, and let me address that. Some idiot in these comments on the video said I was concerned about a room upgrade. Listen here. And I'm gonna try to be as professional as possible because I have to go home and I have to maintain a lot of other things that my image rests very, very heavily on. If you think that I would go downstairs to try to save a woman that is being strangled in the room next to me so I can get a fucking room upgrade, shut the fuck up. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Shut the fuck up. I don't come out here to try to scheme for some free shit, okay? I just told you what I do for a living. I just told you what my husband is an engineering supervisor. We don't come out here to scheme for no fucking rooms. And FYI, we stand out here for free the whole week anyway. So if you could kiss my ass, my whole ass, kiss my ass. I am not out here trying to get free comp shit, nothing. I work for my money. Okay? And for you to still be alive during a whole pandemic, means I'm doing my job right. I like what I do. And I don't just come out to nowhere, and say, I'm having a problem with my room. Can I get an upgrade? And let me put it out there too. They put us in the same room we was in, away from her. So this wasn't no room upgrade bullshit. I just didn't want to be involved in it no more. Because when I'm trying to save somebody and they don't care, I'm not finna sit in no room and listen to that. I just can't do it. And I'm not going to do it. And we weren't finna do it. And I only said that we need to change rooms if they were not going to make these people leave, because I didn't want my husband to go next door and get into it with some drunk idiot that's a woman beater. So I really, really, really want you to understand that I don't come nowhere. I don't do anything. I don't go to restaurants and complain for free shit. I don't do any of that. When I call people out on their bullshit, it's just to hold them accountable. It's not to get anything for free. It's not to get any accolades, no clout, no none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. Okay? Understand that. So stay out of my comments with that bullshit about, you just wanted a free room and I was more concerned about going to the desk. The police were called and the hotel told them we got it. All right? You want to call the Bellagio? Call. The guy's name is Joseph. That's the director of the whoever. Call them and argue with them about that shit. I did what I could do. I have children. I have 3 kids. I have a 17, 12, and a 10-year-old. I have a life. I have a husband. I have a house. I have a lot of other things that I have to think about before I go running trying to fight some white drunk guy. And my husband does too. So I did what was safe, and that was to report it. I have to sign this whole long ass thing. We're not going to sleep. We're not going to throw things off the balcony. We're not going to do any of that other stupid shit. So they are wrong for allowing domestic violence in a hotel. That's all I was telling the security. Like, y'all handled that wrong. Why are you allowing this? Why did you let him come back up to the room? Why would you do that? So yeah. So back to the whole is she okay thing. We don't know. And I asked. When that phone rang at 7-something in the morning, I already knew who it was. I said, yep, what do you want? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're just calling to check on you. You don't need to fucking check on me. You need to go see what's up with homegirl. I'm good. Emotionally, I'm damaged because I heard me and her. I used to scream for my life and nobody came and helped me. Nobody came and helped me. Nobody. Because you know what everybody say? Oh, she's going to go back to him anyway. So, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, I did. I kept going back. And you know what my family did? They're like, listen, when you are serious about leaving this man alone, come get us then. But I was putting the lives and the freedom of a lot of my male family members in jeopardy by calling them, oh my God, come over here and beat him up. He just hit me. They come over there, whoop his ass, or come go to his job and threaten to kill him. And then that night, I'm back in bed with him. So people, they stopped helping me when I kept going back. When I was ready to leave, I had all the support that I thought that I didn't have. When I was ready, when I left, yeah, come on, let's go. And I never went back. And that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So listen, I have been reading the comments for as much as I can. Somebody asked, what's this in my chest? So, I had a cancer scare besides what's going on anyway, but this is a port needle that I have in my chest. And this is how I get like my nutrients, my food and stuff like that, because I had a lot of issues. I was intubated in ICU for 4 days last year. It wasn't due to COVID. It was because I had an allergy while I was there for something else. I have a severe food allergy, and the hospital gave me what I was allergic to, and I ended up being intubated in ICU for a few days after that. So people that are coming in, so we don't know how she is. The only thing that he was saying to me was that we talked to both parties and they're both okay, or something along those lines. He said, he said we spoke to both parties, and that's as much as we can tell you at the moment. So and look, I'm on here with y'all, and here come Bellagio. How was your stay at the Bellagio in an email? I'm finna tear that review up. I'm gonna be 100% honest. And if I don't never come back out here and stay at the Bellagio, I don't care. But yeah, they didn't tell us anything. They just said that it's an internal issue. They're gonna go over training and stuff like that, and that's it. So to answer everyone's question, like I said, I hope that this live like saves, because if I did a story time, it would literally be like 20-30 videos, and I know people really don't want to look at that. But I like I said, I did what I thought was a good thing, because again, there are so many women that, like, reading some of y'all comments, like it's like I keep getting emotional, because that was me, literally, that was me. And if you wouldn't have spoke up, then that's fine. I mean, that's you. And not only as like a human being, but as a nurse, we're like mandatory reporters. We have to step up. We have to step in. We have to. That is just the oath that we take. The Florence Nightingale oath of nursing. We have to. And, we read all of these things about, kids being returned to family after someone reported that they came to school hungry or dirty and stuff like that. And these caseworkers are, oblivious. AJ Friend, which is Freund, he was an Illinois boy that, the parents killed him. The caseworkers have been at the house several times. The family's searching with the neighborhood. Oh my God. And the whole time, the mom and dad making the boy take cold showers, feeding him hot sauce, had him tied up to the bed in his room, and they put the little boy in the trunk of their car and buried him in a field in Illinois. So it's like, there were caseworkers that saw that this boy had bruises and everything else, and they still returned this boy to his family. So there is literally only so much you or I or anybody else can do. If they don't want to get involved, or they feel like it's not that serious, they're not going to. And I really, really, really felt bad about switching rooms, because once we moved out of that room, because obviously they let them stay there because they let him come back up to the room. Once we moved out of that room, the person that was advocating for her, which was me and my husband, we're not there anymore. We're in a whole nother side of the hotel now. And the hotel was booked, meaning there was somebody on, it was us, it was somebody on the other side of them. The people below them called the police. It's somebody above them. It's people across the hall. Like, there were no shortage of ears to hear what was going on. There was no shortage of ears. There was no shortage of reporters that could have stepped in. And only we did, and the people beneath them. And the people beneath them that heard the whole thing said that they would dismiss security, called up to their room and said, well, why did you call the police? What's going on? So how do you think a guest is supposed to feel with security coming at you like, what the fuck? Why are you calling the police? We have security that deal with that. And they probably do. They probably do. This one guy that's a retired Marine that just walk around with his gun and think he the shit. And he probably don't want to go upstairs and deal with lovers' quarrels. And this is the thing. The scenario could be totally different. They could be known to police or known to security because they always in the hotels and they always getting into it and they always on the shit. You know how people are. You're known to police. When people, such and such was shot and killed by the police, but he was known to police. So they stop taking you seriously when you doing the same stuff. They are less apt to help you. They don't want to help you. They roll their ass and they say, yeah, whatever. I had to beg the police to make a report when my children's father put my daughter's car seat on the trunk of his car and tried to drive off. They didn't want to make a report for that. So you kind of sort of got to look at it as just a lot of police officers that y'all call the police. They don't want to be police officers any damn way. They don't want to do anything. They don't care. I'm not saying everybody, because I know some pretty damn good police officers. I love the police that I know that are like our legit friends. I love my state and my county and my city. I love the police officers that I know that are honest police officers. To my knowledge, I don't know anything that they're doing anything wrong. But you literally have police officers that are like, okay, so They're always in here fighting. We don't do, we don't deal with that. And that's the attitude that they have. So, I mean, I don't know what else y'all were expecting us to do. You know what I'm saying? Was it handled? No, they told us that they couldn't tell us anything. And obviously it wasn't handled if when we called, they let him come back up to the room 10 minutes later and the abuse escalated. It escalated. And as far, okay, yeah, somebody asked about the recordings. So, the recordings, I have 4 total. And the recordings are just me standing next to the door while my husband's on the phone calling security. Because again, a lot of things happened before I turned my phone on to record. And what I caught was more than enough evidence for them to remove him or them both. I was hoping that they wouldn't remove her, maybe remove him, just so she can get some kind of rest or recourse. But again, we're talking about somebody that is clearly a victim of domestic violence. I'm not sure of the dynamic of their relationship. So even if they told him to leave, they're not blocking her cell phone. They're going to be on the phone arguing, or she's going to find some way to get him back up into the room. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that making him leave and letting her stay, the situation would have continued, because he's probably still going to call up to the room or call her cell phone. So I don't know how that even would have been solved. And even, they probably live together, so I don't know the dynamic. And they didn't tell us what the dynamic was when we asked the next morning. They refused to give us any kind of updates. They said, it's an internal thing and we can't tell you. So the recordings that I have, they asked me to email them to him. And I'm just, okay, so what is it going to do? He's like, well, this is going to help us with training. What training do you need to have to realize that someone is a domestic violence victim? Clearly he was hitting her. And not all domestic violence is physical. It's mostly physical. But, it's emotional, because the domestic violence that I was going through, it didn't start off physical at all. It was definitely psychological. It was definitely like, oh, you're not cute. No one's going to want you, blah, blah, blah. You have, eczema. Nobody going to want a bitch like you, blah, 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 blah. It starts off as psychological, then it gets to isolation, and then it gets once they feel that they have you cornered, then that's when that hidden shit starts. And this is just me saying about my journey. You know what I'm saying? My parents were married. Even when they divorced, my dad still lived with us. And my dad is an amazing man. My mom is an amazing woman. My husband, he has no children of his own. He loves my children as his own. He is an amazing man. I know a lot of amazing men. So I know some bullshit when I see it. And thankfully that my husband looked at me and all my baggage and all my hurt and all my scars and all of my emotional issues that I was having with being in a relationship with somebody who was literally throwing me down the steps, stabbing me, beating me up, dragging me, and looked at that and said, I'm going to love you through that pain. That's the word. That's the phrase. I found someone, God put us in the same situation, and my husband loved me through my pain. My husband looked at all of that baggage, the distrust, that if somebody reached out to hug me, I'm like this. It's just a reflex thing. Even when my dad was how much, I would still just do this. And it's just a habit thing. It's just you just get into that because anybody that does that, you know what I'm saying? And that causes problems with intimacy and anything like that. Domestic violence, it affects everything. It affected how I was as a mother. Now, I am ashamed to say that I did allow my kids to see a part of that violence. Now, my son was old enough to know. My younger daughters weren't. And I'm thankful that they really have no recollection of anything like that. But my husband looked at all of that baggage that I had for all of those years, and he helped me unpack it. And when I say that, it wasn't telling me I was stupid for staying. And that's the thing. Stop guilting women into, oh, well, you stayed or whatever like that. That's not even for you to even say to somebody, because you don't know why they're staying. And even if they tell you why they're staying, unless you finna, truck home girl out of town and give us some surviving money and change her phone and whatever like that, no matter what you do for a domestic violence victim, they're not gonna leave until they're ready. You cannot say leave and they do that. You can't say, okay, I'll move you across the... It doesn't happen like that. Some sort of communication is gonna guilt her into coming back, or the I'm sorry. Oh my God, the whole I'm sorry, the tears, the crying, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Please come back. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And it happens again every single time. So it has to be the woman who wakes up and is ready to leave. And I'm telling you, I felt that. I woke up and I said, I am not gonna do this shit no more. And I left and I ain't been back. And the blessings have been abounding. I have an amazing husband. I have an amazing support system. I have a degree. I'm a homeowner. I feel overall like I'm a better person. And that's all I want for any woman, domestic violence or not, is to get to the point to where you know that you deserve better and reach out to your support system. It may not be family. But join domestic violence group, like the groups, that all of that stuff. Find an outlet. Find a way to speak up. Just find it. And it does take a long time. And when you have kids with this person, and you gotta abide by all of the parenting time bullshit, oh my Jesus, that makes it worse, because you have to face this person. And I'm gonna tell you one other thing too, and I'm gonna stop ranting on here. I see all of y'all comments. Thank y'all. I promise I'm gonna go through. If y'all want to do a Q&A, ask me a question, that's fine. Just hit the Q&A button this is my first time doing a TikTok live, but I'm gonna say this. There was a young lady from Indiana that was in a custody issue with her baby's dad, or whoever husband, and they exchanged the child in public, at a restaurant in public. And when the mom came to exchange the child with the dad, because that's what Indiana parenting guidelines say. Fuck Indiana parenting guidelines. I just had to say that because it's a bunch of bullshit. Once the child walked across the parking lot into their father's arms, you want to know what their father did? Shot and killed the baby, and shot and killed himself. The laws need to be better with that, especially if it's a history of domestic violence, or even if it isn't. Once kids get involved, things get so ugly. It gets so ugly to where that's this person's biological child, but you have these men out here that will hurt their children just to get back at you. They will hurt these kids just so you can be miserable. Or if I can't have you, nobody can. Or they look at the child and they see that you moved on. They kill the kid because they don't want the kid around someone better than them. I know a lot of people who have lost their children because the baby's dad or the husband mad that the chick moved on, and they take it out on the kid. And when I say I know, I have 4 friends that have lost their children due to that. When I was working in my clinical externship at ER, I seen so many people that I knew, kids come through there, sexually assaulted, raped, sodomized, all of that shit. And you would never know that, because they're not hurting the mother, they're hurting the kids. And you know who brings the kids to the emergency room? The moms. And it's like they hurt the kids. But when they going out and they doing their own shit, and they having all of these other kids and fucking all of these other bitches, it's us dealing with that trauma with these kids. Because you're mad at me, you want to harm my kid. And these men know, well, if I can't get back at her, let me start doing shit to the kid, because she's going to have to deal with that. Like, y'all have to just understand, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Men, like when you talk about women, oh my God, angry women. No, Y'all men be mad as fuck about, because we moved on. Like, leave us alone. You don't want to be with us, right? We bitch, disgusting, fucking hoe, blah, blah, blah. All of these things that I heard Charles tell homegirl, don't they want you, bitch, fucking disgusting asshole, da, da, da. Everything. But you know what he did? He probably came back into that room they left and they probably went and go have sex. But I thought you didn't want it all. I thought she was disgusting and nasty and a hoe and a bitch and this and that. But he still went and stuck his dick in her after they left that hotel or whatever. So stop that. Stop that. If you don't want to be with us, let us go. Take care of your responsibilities and let us go. And it's a lot of men out here that cannot do that. They want to keep us under their thumb, and that is harming our children. Harming. Trust me, when I walked out of that situation, the harm was to not be in your child's life. You ain't hurt me. You ain't shit no way. And now my husband coming in, now he real mad. You want to know what he said too? Well, what do I need to do something for? Her husband do all of that. Do you hear yourself? These are your biological children. And you talking about you don't want to step in and do anything because my husband's doing everything? That's what my husband's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. Any man, whether it's my husband, boyfriend, fuck buddy, whoever, that's what that man's gonna do. If he loves you, he's gonna love your kids, he's gonna take care of your kids. And then let me put this out there too. My husband has never, ever come in between my children's father seeing his kids. My baby's dad is intimidated by my husband, and they ain't never met. They've never spoken, nothing. He just sees what my husband does and say, well, fuck them. Fuck them kids. Fine. My kids ain't missing shit. Trust me. So can y'all please just help women, empower women? Thank you. Even though I've been 11 years out of that, I love seeing this. I love the positivity because there are times where I get this minute where I just hearing that, I went back and I was bawling, crying at the desk downstairs. And you know what Charles asked me? Why are you crying? What do you mean, why am I crying? Because I'm a domestic violence survivor. And I hear me in that. That was me. That's why. And it pisses me off that and I'm not saying men are domestic violence victims either. Let me put that out there too. I know some bitches that be beating on their dudes. Let me say that. I know some. And it's not okay. Either way. But for him, why are you crying? What the fuck you mean, why am I crying, Charles? Security, head of security. What do you mean, why am I crying? Whether I was domestic violence or not, me hearing that woman being strangled is traumatizing. Especially when I see this shit at work all the time. It's crazy. These ER rotations, when I was in nursing school, oh my God. Craziness. And you really can't be emotionally tight. You have to just do your job. Do what you do. Because I have to clock out. I literally have to clock out. When I'm done, I have to clock out. And it's hard to separate work from life because what homegirl, and I don't even know her name, I swear, I know Charles, if you seeing this, Charles, if anybody knows who the fuck Charles is, that was staying at the Bellagio on Wednesday, April 27th to the 28th or whatever, Wednesday, Thursday this week, you tell Charles he a bitch. Tell him that he a bitch. And no real man puts his hand on a woman. You choking her until she vomits. The recordings, oh my God. And I didn't even get it when it started in the beginning. I did not. And people are asking me, am I going to post them? No. And the reason why I say that is because posting them, I'm pretty sure she hears herself when this stuff happens. I don't think it's really going to change anything. Now, if I read, when I go back home to Indiana, and I read that homegirl was found strangled and they don't put her name, but I see that first name, Charles, if any of y'all that live in Vegas or whatever, read anything about somebody being murdered or beat, and the first name of the person they arrested is Charles, DM me. Because then and only then will I put them recordings on front. And that's the thing. It may not be enough to convict him because it's just like Charles. But, it could be anybody. I don't know. But maybe if they tie them to the hotel, the date that we were there, then maybe it might be significant. But to answer people's questions, am I going to post the recordings or release them? No, I can't. because me hearing them again is too traumatizing for me. And if this woman's family is watching, or gets wind of these videos, because legit, yeah, it's viral. So I wouldn't want this woman's family to hear that, knowing that these were the last moments of their daughter. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Everyone, did she get help? No. Security came up, and 10 minutes later, Charles was back in the room. Cause when security did come, they said, "Oh, no, we're fine. We're fine. She's okay." She said nothing. She wasn't even allowed to talk. And once security let him back up to the room, it got worse. It got a lot worse. When I say a lot worse, the body slams before were like one every 2-3 minutes. He was slinging her ass around that room. And when one particular time when he slung her, the door, like we have like the door, like this is our door, this is their door, so it's like the conjoining thing. He threw her against that door so hard, that whole fucking wall shook on our side. And if you heard it, it was like a sound like that. Like she was slammed into the wall. And if you get everybody know what an ice bucket is. So it's like this. And he kept picking it up, throwing it. So all we're hearing is, I don't know if he was like slapping her with it and throwing it against the wall, but that's all we was hearing was. It was so loud. I only saw the guy, and it was through the peephole. So we didn't step out when security. A lot of people coming in now. When security did come, we looked through the peephole. We did not step outside. I saw him through the peephole. I would probably know him if I saw him, maybe, but he was a white, heavyset guy. I think he had like maybe reddish blonde hair and a ponytail. I didn't see the girl. No, I did not see her. Yes. The people who were under, for everybody, now everybody's starting to come in. The people who were underneath them called the police, and they told us that the security called their room, because when dispatch, they said, "What room are you in?" Blah 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 blah. They called the hotel to let them know that a guest called. The security from the Bellagio called them and asked them, the people beneath them that called the police before we called security, called them and asked them why did they call the police, and everything was under control and everything. So the security kind of just like edged them, like, well, why are you calling? So the police were called, it just wasn't us, and security told them not to come. No police officer came. Nope. No updates. I'm sorry. They refused to give us updates. They said that it's an internal thing and it will be handled in that, and they can't give us any information. So we don't know if she's okay. I don't know. When we moved our room, as we were getting our shit to leave, they were still over there fighting. They were still over there fighting. Before we left. I got a couple of questions. Yeah. All right, I'll pull a couple of y'all in on the live. Give me a second. Let me answer a couple of these questions. Okay. Why didn't I call the police? The police were already called, and the hotel told them that everything was okay. That's why Metro didn't show up. Okay, I'm sorry, you probably just came into the live. We called the police. Well, the people beneath them called the police. The dispatch called the hotel. The hotel called the people who called the police and told them that everything was handled and asked them why they called. So the Bellagio cut off the police if they would have came. They wouldn't have been able to come. I'm sorry. This is what we were told. The people who called the police heard me in the lobby cussing out the damn security manager or whatever like that, and they told us that security called them and asked them why they called. The police were called. I'm gonna put a banner. The police were called, not by us, but they weren't allowed to come to the hotel to deal with the problem. We don't know if she died. They told us they could not. They couldn't give us any information. It was an internal issue. They couldn't tell us anything. They refused to tell us anything when they called us the next morning. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate the positive comments. I mean, I just did what anybody with any heart would do. I wishing I could have did more and things like that, you know, but there's only so much that you can do before you put yourself in danger. And again, I put my life on the line every day as a nurse. I risk bringing COVID home to my kids. I've been slapped and bitten and struck by patients just because that's the kind of patients that I take care of: mental health, dementia, Alzheimer's, anything like that. So it's only so much that I can do or we can do before, you know, you have to rely on that outside help. And sometimes the outside help is not helpful at all. No, the police didn't come. We didn't get any updates on the young lady. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know if she got help. Hopefully she's getting help or something. I hope she was able to get out of that. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, I was in it for about 6 years. I was in a domestic violence relationship and it was bad. And I had 2 kids with my abuser, so it's really not the greatest. Yeah, treat us like shit and then get mad when we leave. It happens. It's crazy, right? Like, we're nothing, but you don't want anybody else to have me if I'm not anything. The hotel, they're dealing with it internally. We all know what that means. They ain't finna do shit. Nope, no police came. Yeah, we're here on vacation. So my husband and I have been married 1 year. We eloped in our living room. Because of COVID, we had to change our wedding date like 3 times. We lost a lot of money because we lost quite a few of our vendors because of that. So we eloped in our living room in April, and then we were able to have our celebration in October. So here celebrating 1 year anniversary. My birthday just passed and my husband's birthday is next week. So we're here trying to get some relief, but the first 2 days of our trip were terrible. So it sucks. It really, 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 really sucks. No, I didn't see the lady's face. I'm sorry, I did not. She never stepped in the hallway. And when security, what I was thinking of doing is when I thought that security had taken him off the floor, I was actually going to go next door and knock to see if she was okay. But literally, like, by the time we were like looking and I'm trying to put on some clothes to go next door, he was right back up in that room. We had no chance of even trying to go next door. And it wasn't going to be me walking in the hallway. I was going to knock on the adjoining door. So, you know, the adjoining door with the conjoined suites. I was just going to knock on the door through there and just ask if she's okay, whether that's me asking through the door or she probably didn't want to open it. I don't know. But security let him back up in that room so quick. I didn't even have time to react. I was in pajamas. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was asleep. You know, I don't mind, you know, sexy, smexy, whatever for my husband for our anniversary and stuff. So, you know, it was just like, I didn't have time to see if she was okay once they took him out because he was right back. So I didn't get a chance to do that. Yeah, they have security. Bellagio, from what we were told, as well as a lot of hotels on the Strip, they employ armed security, private security. All of the dispensaries out here have armed security. Ex-Marine, ex-Navy, ex-military, ex-cops. There's no shortage of armed security guards that could have dealt with that before Metro was called, since they don't want to call Metro, or they have their own security in place to deal with these issues. That's what we were told. We have security that deals with that, you know, blah, 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 like a loss prevention kind of security kind of people that carry guns and they only appear when something is bad. The security guards that I see walking around the fucking Bellagio are old enough to be my dad. Not saying that they weak, but could you imagine somebody that's drunk, jacked up on whatever, like whooping somebody's ass that's like in their 70s? Come on, man. And then a lot of the security people in the Bellagio, they have volunteer security on the back. They didn't get paid. So, granted, I'm not saying all volunteers ain't going the extra mile, but baby, I seen like a 70-something-year-old man that said volunteer security in the Bellagio. I said, Lord Jesus, what if this motherfucker came up to the room and, sir, you didn't want to know what would have happened. It wouldn't have been good. So, no. I mean, listen, I am all for it. Like, I had a couple people message me from the news things out here. So, I mean, y'all can share the video. Y'all can message me or whatever. I'm not going to be silent about this. I want everyone to know that. But this is the thing. What I'm experiencing and what I'm telling you all, it's no secret to this. It goes on every day. I know about the sex trafficking in Vegas. Have y'all been watching Intervention? All of these intervention things it's like Intervention Las Vegas. So, like the people that live in the tunnels, it was a documentary on the people that live in the tunnels underneath Vegas, right? And it was 4 girls that they interviewed, and they said that they were taken away from their families and they were pushed into sex trafficking, and they were not allowed to leave the tunnels. So they know what's going on. What I'm telling y'all is not anything new. Y'all got tunnels. Y'all got people doing whole Netflix documentaries and Intervention on A&E on Mondays at 8, 9 Central. They know. They just don't want to do shit about it. And honestly, I don't know if homegirl was young. I don't know. I know she was a female and she was in trouble. That's it. I don't know the dynamic of the relationship. So I honestly don't know. But yeah, that whole, can you go see if she's dead right now? I was finna hop across that fucking desk cause literally, we gotta wear masks, right? We gotta wear masks, right? So it's hard to try to get, like, really feel and understand how people. So Charles is sitting there with me. He's talking to me like this and he's leaning over like this, and he's like, well, I'm sorry. And then when I said, can you go do that? Can you check on her and see if she's dead? Okay, we'll do it now. The look on his face was like, the audacity. Do your fucking job. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, it ain't nothing going on where you can't go up to that damn room and see that lady. But it was a long ass walk. So he probably wouldn't go because it was too far. I don't know. He wasn't moving fast enough for me. He wasn't at all. And he probably still, and this is probably something that he sees or whatever all the time, and he just don't take it seriously. If you don't want to take stuff seriously, relinquish your security badge, bruh. Top flights, just don't. Just don't. But as a human being, if you witnessed anything, you need to speak up. You ain't got to be police to do the right thing, or security to do the right thing. You need to do the right thing. No, I'm not at the Bellagio. We are at a better hotel right now. Thank you. I love my ring too. It kind of sucks I can't wear it to work. Thank y'all so much. Hey, fellow nerds. Hey, fellow army. Yes, I am a huge BTS fan. I love BTS. My bias is Jimin. It's either Jimin or V. But I love BTS, baby. Yes. Love BTS. Hi, army. Okay, it's probably not gonna be in news in Las Vegas. If y'all got somebody that y'all want to put me in contact with or put them in contact with me, that's fine. Whoever reach out, I'll definitely talk. I'll share what I know. Y'all keep sharing the video. Keep reposting it. Keep reposting. I saw 3 people do stitches to my videos. That it was one young lady that said that she was in the parking lot with her boyfriend. She was honking the horn. All of the windows were down. She was screaming for help, and nobody helped her. I can't remember her name, but if you look and see who did stitches with me, it's the one young girl and one young lady, and then there was another young lady that worked at a casino out here, and she said, yeah. The security is really not effective in these issues. But yes, please keep sharing the video. Please, please, please. Again, I am not doing this for the clout attention. I am too old for clout. I am almost 40. I don't do the clout shit. I really don't do social media like that. But in this instance, social media can save someone's life. It can hold someone accountable. It's all about accountability. I know it seems like I felt defeated when I called for help and security took him down to the end of the hallway. First of all, if they took him downstairs, he wouldn't have been back up there in 10 minutes. I think they just took him a few doors down, talked to his drunk ass, and then told him to come back. He said, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I felt defeated. I felt like I failed her. Even when we moved rooms, I felt like I failed her. Because once we left that room, the advocacy left. Because I know there was not there couldn't have been anyone that did not hear her screaming for her life. I'm sorry. I'm a heavy ass sleeper, and the fact that shit woke me up, it was pretty loud. It was really, really loud. So I know some people just don't want to get involved. I'm not saying go bam on the door. You know what I'm saying? My husband's going to do that. And I told my husband no. But if people would have, like, if more than one person called security or police, whatever like that, I think that the Bellagio may have handled it better or could have handled it better. But maybe not. Especially with Charles' lazy ass down there at the desk. So probably not. I don't know. But I did feel defeated. I cried. The next morning, I cried all day because I felt like I failed this girl. I felt like I was not doing anything. I felt like my plea to help her fell on deaf ears. And the fact that the hotel did not tell us anything hurt more. I wish I knew her name. I wish I knew. I don't know. I know what room number they was in. It was next to us. But other than that, I don't know her name. I don't know how she looked. I know how the guy looked from a profile, and this was me looking at the peephole. The guy's name who was beating up on her was Charles. The same name as the director of security that's downstairs there. And you see it in the part 1. I said Charles. Funny, that's the same name as the guy that was next door beating his girlfriend's ass. His name was Charles. That's all I know, was a white guy. With I think he had like reddish brown hair and a ponytail. Yeah, okay. So the questions about why didn't we call the police? The police were called. The people that were in the room directly underneath these people called the police. Dispatch or whatever, whether they came and they showed up at the hotel and were like stopped by police or whatever in the lobby. And that's the thing with the Bellagio. The police cannot get up to the rooms without security walking or without a key. You can't come to the room. This was 3:00 in the morning, so it's not like at the Cosmo you could just push the floor and come up. The Bellagio, you have to have a key to get up to any of the rooms. So whether they came or not, they had to talk to security. So security just was like, nah, we handled that. So the police were called. We didn't call, but they were called and they were told that everything was under control and they weren't needed. What do you mean, why not call the police instead of hotel staff? Okay, listen. I said what I had to say about the police thing. The people who are new to the police were called, they were turned away. Period. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like, y'all asking me the same damn questions, and I'm telling you, they were called not by us. They were called by another guest that heard the commotion, and police were turned away by Bellagio staff. I just when I want you to get a blood infection. What you talking about? You talking about my port? Oh, yeah. No, I just got out the shower. So I know I'm supposed to have an occlusive dressing and all. I know about all of that. It's just I have to let my skin dry. I have idiopathic urticaria, so my skin has to dry. I have to prep it and then put my dressing over my Tegaderm. I get it. I understand. Literally, my hands are clean. All of that stuff, I'm good. I promise I'm going to put a dressing. I knew somebody was going to say that in here too, but no. The only reason why it's open like this is because I just got out the shower. It needs to dry. I have to put chlorhexidine scrub around it, let it dry, and then put the occlusive on. But yeah, it's because my skin is very, very sensitive, and actually my whole chest is red, but it just happens. But yeah, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I will. No, I will not post the audio. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Even if somebody called the cops and tell them what room, they would have had to go with security to get up to the room. You have to have a key to get to the rooms in the Bellagio. Honestly, since we've been here, I've only really seen, and that's the thing, when you on the strip, it's like CRIT police that have guns, and then you see Metro. We were walking through Cosmo. It's Metro PD in Cosmo. So, but yeah, I do feel like I failed her, because once we moved away, anybody that probably even cared to call if it continued after we left that room was not there anymore. I have a question. I got you, Felicia. I appreciate it. I think they are trying to avoid a PR situation, because they They definitely turned away police. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm still in Vegas, but I'm not at their hotel anymore. No, they were, the rooms were full when we got there. So it wasn't an isolated area. The rooms were full. People have been here yesterday and that's the thing, Vegas is packed right now because of the NFL draft. So no, most of these hotels are not empty at all. So there were people around in that room in the other room that could have spoke up and said something because it was that loud. Yeah, I'm just immensely sad that we don't know what happened to her, if she's okay. I mean, even if she went back, I just hope that she gets out of that. I mean, all I can do is pray that she gets out of that. And I pray to God she doesn't have kids with this person, because having kids with your abuser is very, very hard to deal with, because you never really escape that person, because you have to look at that person when when you are spending time with your kids collectively, or how bad and abusive this person is. You don't want that person to take that out on your child. It's really, really emotionally draining and tough to deal with that when you have children with your abuser, and I can definitely testify to that. It is very, very difficult. Yeah, they were not, they weren't going to let police upstairs. Metro was not allowed. The conversation at the front desk ended with me telling Charles to get his lazy ass up there and check on her. As I said in part 2, I told homegirl to put us in whatever room that they was gonna put us in, because I was exhausted. But I didn't sleep any rest of that night. I cried all that day when we woke up. I talked to hotel management, and they basically was just like, okay, yeah, we'll just use this as a training tool. Fuck out of here. I only know that they checked on her when we called security. The people who called the police, we saw them in the lobby downstairs, and they told us that security contacted them and asked them why did they call the police, and that everything was under control. I don't know if she's okay. They did not tell. They didn't tell us, and they said that they couldn't. It was an internal issue and things like that. I mean, if it's somebody with money or well-known, I mean, the room that we were standing in, the Bellagio, is nice, but I mean, I would think somebody that had money wouldn't be in a room like that. It wasn't like it was like a huge suite. It was just a fountain view room. So if they got money, then they broke staying in a room like that. All right, y'all. I see y'all waving. Hey. Yeah, it's honestly only so much that we could have done. I know my husband wanted to, bam on that door and say, what's up. But I just don't really see that. I mean, I understand that that's my husband wanted to do that, and it's like, my husband is not a hothead. That's one thing about my husband. He is not a hothead. He is so meek and mild and nice, and just to see my husband that upset to where the point that he wanted to go next door and do whatever he needed to do. I know that took a lot from him to want to do that, but I just don't think that would have had a good outcome, because the guy was drunk and he was really, aggressive and upset. Yeah, my husband wanted to do that too. Who is it? Oh, that's because I got the lock on the door. Hi, husband. This is my husband, y'all. How was it? Good? That was amazing. You look all refreshed. I got food up here. I've been doing story time on TikTok, so I get to put the food in here. All right, y'all. All right, let me answer a couple more questions, and I'm going to get off of here. I'm pretty much been saying the same thing over and over again. I will... If this live doesn't save to my TikTok, I'll post a couple of videos just answering like the universal questions, which is, why didn't we call the police? Did we get an update? And whatever the other question was. I will post a quick story time video if this live does not save. And again, share those videos, reach out. They can contact me. I'm not like that. So keep sharing the video to bring awareness to what's going on, to where there was somebody that needed help, and this particular hotel, the Bellagio, failed this young lady because they didn't stop what was going on. Do I think it would bring awareness? It might. I mean, I would hope that it would. I mean, but complain to HR, I don't have nothing to do with that. I mean, I feel like if the manager of security, this is probably his behavior, and they probably know about that. So I mean, I can only do so much. And that's the thing. It's like, if I went to corporate and said something, they don't fucking care. They don't. Or they wouldn't care. Yeah, we did what we could to help, and like I said, I feel like I failed her because it didn't stop after we told security and he was able to come back up. Yeah, the hotel with these images, baby, they don't want, and that's the thing. It's a whole pandemic. All of these hotels lost millions and billions and billions of dollars over the past year. So could you imagine something like this and people stop staying with them? It probably won't be enough to put a dent in their pocket, but you know, they're not trying to lose one guest, let alone several hundred for a boycott. But hey, if it happens, good, because they need to understand whatever policy, and you heard me say, whatever policy y'all got going forward about, if there's someone that's calling for a domestic violence issue or something like that, in those instances, and I get it, Bellagio is a very, very, very large hotel. All these hotels are pretty fucking large, so I'm not saying employ one person or whatever to deal with the entire hotel, but there has to be some sort of outreach or some sort of policy that they can have, that when something, domestic violence, where it comes to somebody who's drunk and who's hurting somebody or whatever, something like that, that the police need to be the person who intervenes in that, along with security for accountability. I'm not saying go up there with a gun and start waving it around, but like I said, ain't nobody scared of them security guards at the Bellagio. They are literally old enough to be my dad or young enough to be my son. So if I'm a drunk dude, I'm like, get your old ass out of here, get your young ass out of here. I can't take you seriously. So that's all I'm saying. I'm asking for them to put a policy or a safety thing in place, or a safety program, especially in Vegas, when you know that the sex trafficking out here is insane. Like, if I knew I was out here and I knew, or I heard, or I know that if I was to go to somebody for help, that they wouldn't help me, they would just release me back to my abuser or not protect me, I wouldn't say anything either, because it's like, then you make them mad and then the abuse escalates. So they need to figure that out. They need to have something in place where particular kind of calls warrant a social worker, something like that, or off-duty, or a police officer or something, and a report needs to be made, and a running report needs to be made. Thank you. All of that. That's all I'm asking for is change. I'm not asking for no free room. So I'm like, we ain't never staying at the Bellagio again after this. Ever. Fuck them. We in a better hotel right now anyway. Bellagio ain't got shit on Cosmo. Anyway. Thank y'all so much. He said thank you. Oh, my daughter got me in the BTS. If you look on my TikTok, my daughter, we at the concerts. I'm like a mic drop remix. I know the names and all that stuff. I got BTS mask. BTS is the shit. They should have won a Grammy though. The Grammys was wrong for that. But yes, BTS till I die. Army, what's up? Yeah, the police. Yep, they were. Nope. Sorry. You know what they offered me? Y'all want to have breakfast, free breakfast on us? Give it to homegirl. They offered me. Jumping.
It's loud down there.
I know. Bust down, Tatiana.
I'm going downstairs.
Hell no. No. Bust down, Tatiana.
I'm going downstairs.
Hell no. I ain't going downstairs fucking with them people. Stay up here. Sorry. Service out here is terrible. But yeah, I had a friend who was in an abusive relationship, and she invited I had a friend, and she invited another friend of hers over to her house to escape her abuser. The abuser came over to this particular person's house to look for his girlfriend, and the guy ended up shooting and killing my friend, who had nothing to do with it. He was trying to get to his girlfriend, who was at my friend's house, and he ended up shooting and killing my friend. And the funeral was insane, because the girl who the guy was after showed up, and the family of my friend that was killed was ready to whoop that girl ass at that funeral. It was so sad. So and I keep referring and listening to that, because I lost my friend because she tried to be a good person to intervene and invite someone over that was in a situation, and the guy ended up killing my friend and not the person he was looking for. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully someone else, like if she's okay, I don't know if they're local, I don't know if they're out of town. I don't know anything about this young lady. All I know is the room she was in, and I know the name of the guy that was in the room with her. I did what I could, and like I said, I feel like I failed her because, you know, really nothing was done. Nothing was done to help her. I feel like Bellagio failed her. I feel like I failed her because I feel like I don't know what more I could have done, but I wish more could have been done to save her, because she's somebody's daughter. At the end of the day, she might be somebody's mother. You know, she obviously is the daughter to somebody, and I'm pretty sure that if she's somebody who's estranged, that, you know, her family would be heartbroken if they knew what she was going through, if they don't know already. Close the door. It's loud. Yeah, it is all about the money. You know, they all about, you know, image, and, you know, they're gonna be known as a morgue if they don't start, you know, taking better care of guests that are obviously in a situation of distress. Thank you, Dream Girl. Sandra, we don't know. They didn't give us an update. They wouldn't tell us. They said it was an internal issue and they weren't allowed to give us that information. And I guess some people don't want to get involved. There are stories on the news where people get involved and the innocent bystander is shot, killed, stabbed. It's happened twice in the past few days from what I've seen on the news, well, on Yahoo, that a guy was leaving like his sister's birthday party and he intervened in a domestic violence situation to try to separate them, and he ended up getting shot and killed. Another guy that was a good Samaritan, he tried to intervene with something, then he ended up being stabbed and killed. So, I mean, it's sad that, you know, bystanders are the ones getting hurt, you know, jumping in trying to save drowning victims, and they end up losing their life. Like, I have no doubt that there are people out here that would have done more than us, whether that's go next door or headlock the dude or threaten him or whatever like that. But just with what's been going on and things like that, and the fact that we out of state, and the fact that Metro just clearly doesn't care, that could have turned into something totally different. Metro could have came and arrested my husband because he went next door and threatened. You know what I'm saying? So it could be really, really muddled. So I hate that we couldn't do more, but at the same time, we do have to be really, really, really realistic about, if the police are behaving in that manner to where they don't care about domestic violence victims, then I definitely don't want my husband being arrested or anything by these kind of people. It's not happening. Not my son, not my husband. No, I will not allow that to happen. Sorry. Oh yeah, violence is bad out here. I mean, Sin City, prostitution out here is pretty much legal, brothels. So I mean, it's kind of like a given. You're gonna have a lot of women out here who probably came out here for one thing and are out here doing another and want to go home, but they can't. No, it's only a part 1 and I had to break it up into 2 parts because the video was really long when I was talking to Bellagio security. I do have 4 recordings on my phone, audio recordings of what was going on next door, and I will not be posting those. No, I will not be posting the videos. I'm sorry, no. Just out of respect for her. I mean, posting the videos, that's not going to bring any kind of awareness. I mean, take it back. Me posting the videos of her fighting for her life and hearing her being strangled, that is super duper traumatic. I wouldn't want anybody posting that of me. I mean, I know that there's ring videos. Was it it might I'm trying to remember. There was a lady that was running from her boyfriend and I think this dude's name was Charles too. If you look up man beats girlfriend on ring video, she got away from him and ran up to a porch with a ring video and was banging on the door, and he came and he like did like a knee flying kick into her chest and threw her down and kicked her. And I want to say it happened out here. If it didn't, I apologize, but it is recent. It was a black guy and a white lady. She broke away, got out of the car. She ran up to this person's porch and was bamming for help. And he did like a flying knee kick, kneed her in the chest, threw her down and kicked her, and literally dragged her by her hair back to the car. Look it up. I can't remember. But I want to say his name was Charles, which is, what the fuck is wrong with y'all Charles people? But no, I can't think of his name. But the video went crazy viral, so I can't remember. Oh, thank y'all for sending all this. I really appreciate that. Most of the comments have been very positive, and I really, really appreciate that. I am not about to, I mean, at the beginning of the video, I told y'all what I had to say about people that said I should have mind my business, and I'm looking for a room upgrade. Baby, we ain't struggling over here to be coming out here for looking for no room upgrades. No. Somebody else called the police. And they were told that security told them that that they had it handled, so the police were not allowed to go up to the room. Yeah, Charleses are canceled. I have a cousin named Charles, but all the rest of the Charles are canceled. Yeah, listen. If this girl, first of all, if she, I don't know, she could be a minor. I don't know, but I don't want to post a video and her family, who's tried to get her out of this situation, hears their daughter being strangled. Like, I don't want to. I'm not posting that. I'm sorry. I am not posting that, because especially if she's in a situation where her family has tried to save her and they sporadically talk to her because this person is controlling her, doesn't allow her to talk to them. And then now all of a sudden there's audio of their daughter floating around all over the place of her being strangled. If that was my child and I knew that they were in trouble and I didn't have a way to save her, and I hear a recording of my daughter pleading for her life, I would probably commit suicide. I'm sorry. It's just the pain and the fear in her voice would send chills down anyone's spine. And I know my line of work, I see a lot of stuff. I see dead infants, I see dead people, and I'm kind of like, you know, that's just part of my job. But if you aren't in that line of work, or if you don't see violence or domestic violence or things like that often a routine, it still hurts me. But I don't want to be the person to have those recordings out there of their daughter being strangled, especially if she ends up dead. Now, if something was to happen, I'm pretty sure that they could subpoena the thing and you know, was something called, or did anybody? And that's going to be up to Bellagio to document how they did that. That's not going to fall on us. If they documented appropriately, they probably might release our information to the prosecutor out here or whatever, and they contact us, see if we want to come forward. But that's going to be on Bellagio, not us. And the way the Bellagio handled it, they probably gonna say, oh yeah, we handled it. We might not even come up. And even if we did turn the recordings over to Bellagio, if they don't want the attention for it, they're not gonna turn any of that stuff. They're gonna say that they don't know what's going on, or yeah, you know, but we went and we handled it. And that's probably all they're gonna say. So I don't know. If the Bellagio documents it appropriately and something really happens to this girl and it comes out, yeah, I will always have those on top. I will take them off my phone. I will put them in a safe place and put them if they need to be released. But other than that, no, I will not be posting this woman pleading and gurgling and fighting for her life. No, I am not doing that at all. No. So sorry. Oh, thank you so much. All right, couple more questions. Did I call the police? No, we did not. Another person did. Underneath them did. The people who were underneath the room, they told us that they called the police, but the police turned them away. Well, security turned them away and said that they had it handled. Yes, it's messed up. No, I haven't heard anything about her since we complained. Well, since we talked about it, they didn't care. They said it was an internal thing and that's how they're going to deal with it, and they couldn't give us any information. The videos out here, if they need it, then if police wants it, then we'll give it to them. But Metro didn't even care to come check on the lady or demand that they go up there and make sure that she's okay. Because honestly, if the Bellagio would have told Metro that this man was beating this woman to death, and they've had calls from other visitors or people that were staying here in the hotel that this person was beating this woman up, they should have arrested him, or Bellagio should have let the police up. And the fact that they didn't, me giving them the recordings is not going to change anything. They probably masturbate to it. I don't know. They don't care, in my opinion. If anything, that'd just be fodder for them to laugh and, oh my God, did you hear that? And they probably beat their dick to it. So it probably won't make any difference. Yes, I'm just trying to raise awareness. Like I say, share the video, share the videos that I have. If somebody wants to get in contact with me, news, media, paper, I'll talk to them. No problem. I have nothing to hide. I am definitely trying to bring awareness to this because it is an epidemic. It is very sad. It is very traumatizing. It's just all of that. And I've been there. I am a survivor of that. And I wish that, if you hear something, just say something, honestly. Like, this whole no snitching thing is not cool. Because if it was your daughter, whether this was an ongoing thing or whether she was out on vacation with her husband, he got a little too drunk and she needed help, would you not want somebody to speak up and save your child or your mom or your family member or your best friend or your classmate? Come on, man. Y'all can't be talking about, don't get involved and stuff like that. Because if that was one of your female family members or friends or whatever, you would want someone to help them. And then if people heard it happening and they ended up dead, you would be upset. So y'all can miss me with that bullshit. Just think about it. If it was your family member and nobody said anything and you have to go to the morgue and identify your family member, you would be all in the news crying and shit. I wish somebody would have said something. Okay, there was something. Then when people speak up, then you talking shit. Fuck out of here, dude. They moved our room. We don't know what happened. They let him back up in the room. They were still arguing and fighting when we were packing our shit to leave out of the room and get moved to another room. Yeah, we was trying to have a nice time, and we don't give a break. We don't get a break often. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the pandemic, haven't been able to travel. I've been sick. You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't been like something that we can just do. You know what I'm saying? I have 3 kids. We have 3 dogs. We have a lot going on at home. So whenever we can get away to do something like this, is just be perfect. But unfortunately, the first night that we got here, it was terrible. And that next day, I just wanted to lay in bed because I was so depressed about that. Because I really, really, really felt bad. I really, really wanted to help her, whether that's giving her money to go stay at another hotel or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to give her an outlet. And that's the thing, like, people like, oh, well, she's still gonna go back. Okay, the thing about it is like, no matter how many times she goes back, that doesn't mean that people don't need to speak up for people that are in that situation. Because I went back many times. I went back and had 2 kids, and people are like, well, that's your fault. Okay, well, that's fine. Blame me. Blame the victim. Whatever y'all want to do to how y'all sleep at night or whatever. If you feel like blaming the victim helps you sleep better at night, okay, just hope it don't happen to your daughter, because it's gonna be her fault. Boo-hoo. Thank y'all so much. Like, I really appreciate like the positive comments. Like, it really, really, really means a lot. And I am only trying to bring awareness. Only. Yeah, the one about the lady being, it's ring videos of, I don't remember what state it was in, but the lady was walking with her daughter and some guy just snatched her daughter and the mom held onto the car. You could just hear her shrieking, and they found the baby, maybe 8-9 years old, naked in a hotel with this convicted sex offender. They searched the room. The girl was in the clothing hamper basket, and they left. And then they got another report to come back, and they found the baby in the hamper, and it was blood all over. So what do you think happened? I'm not saying nobody reported that, but this is an instance where if y'all would have mind y'all business, that baby would have been dead. She was 8, 9, raped by a grown. It was blood on the bed from him raping that baby. So if y'all all mind y'all okay, keep minding y'all fucking businesses then. If that's if you sleep at night, whatever, keep minding y'all business. But whoever is minding the business and y'all hear a baby being raped next door and y'all don't want to give, fuck you. And your mama needs to whoop your ass, because that is wrong. But I get it. Y'all don't want to speak up, fine. That's fine. Just let it happen to y'all. We won't speak up either. Sorry. Y'all was crazy in these comments. I wouldn't have said nothing. Okay, don't say shit. My husband is laughing. He like, oh my God. Yeah, fine. Don't say nothing. If I'm telling you, don't say anything. If that gets you through your day, don't say anything then. But I'm pretty sure we have all seen that video of them police storming that hotel room because somebody heard that baby screaming while he was raping her. Get out of here with that. Y'all, if y'all got kids talking about mind your business, CPS, hello? Cause y'all are crazy. Somebody heard that man raping that 8-year-old baby and called the police, and they came back, and now granted, they missed her the first time because she was in the hamper. He put the clothes over her and he said, if you say something, I'm gonna kill you. And they left, and then they came back and they found the baby in the hamper, and it was blood all over the bed because he raped her. She was 8. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. If you a parent, fuck, bye. You don't need your kids. Stop saying that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Get out of my comments saying that. Stop it. For real. Y'all crazy. The people, exactly. Sammy, the people who don't get involved be the main one in front of the media. Crocodile tears ass. Get out of here, man. It is very traumatizing. And you know what? As a nurse, I think that I have become a little bit desensitized to some of the stuff that I see when I come into work, because I see it too often. When I was doing my ER rotations, I cried every day. But then when you have you're just like, because you got to clock out at some time. It took me about a year to get to the point to where I didn't bring work home with me as much. I had to go to counseling. It's very trying, especially with kids. Oh, my first day before I became a nurse, I was a first assist surgical technologist. My first day on the job in operating room, I was working in OB. We did a C-section on a young lady that was here visiting. It was her first baby. She was 38 weeks. A drunk driver hit the car. The airbag deployed and hit her in the stomach. She survived, but the impact of the airbag it's called abruptio placentae, which is basically the placenta. The placenta previa is one thing where it's starting to, but when you have a placenta that 100% like detaches from the uterus, it's called placental abruption, and the baby dies instantaneously because every whatever nutrients or whatever, when it detaches, the baby dies instantly. And the fact that the airbag, she was 9 months, she's pretty big. The airbag, again, it saved her life, but it ended up killing her child. So she was here from out of town. She was a walk-in, as we call it, meaning she doesn't have any prior care or any relationship with any of the doctors that are in the hospital. And her family was up at the hospital screaming, crying. Her husband was military. And the way the operating rooms were set up is that when I came out of the OR, because we had to deliver the baby, she was asleep. We put her under general anesthesia. We didn't have time for a spinal because the baby was in distress. We couldn't find a heartbeat, and she was bleeding out. So when I got to, when we came out, the baby was deceased. By the time the baby was deceased before she even got to the hospital because of the placental abruption. When I had my youngest daughter, I had prolapse cord. And my daughter could have died. But thankfully, with me knowing, what to do, you have to put wrap the a wet towel around the cord and, you know, be like a downward dog position, try to get the pressure off the cord so my baby could still live with my youngest daughter. So she was a footling breech too. So not only was it the cord, it was a foot coming out of my thing. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, when I walked out of the OR and I still had blood, the family lost it because they knew. And it was really, really sad. So that day going forward, I kind of sort of have to put myself in a position where I'm just like, okay, like I have to check out of work. But I do have. And then, you know, we bring the baby to the room. We, you know, clean the... And she didn't want to let her baby go. We put it in, like, the little cradle thing and wheeled her in. And we usually only give patients up to maybe about 12 hours with the stillborn child. But she didn't want to let it. And I had to go get the baby from the room. It was just so sad. But, yeah, like, you... As a nurse, you kind of sort of just become, like, this is work. You can show compassion, but it's work, and like I have to go home and kind of like check out because it's very traumatizing to be in that kind of environment and just like be on all the time. So yeah, multiple noise complaints would have been enough. Do you know that my husband and I we were in California, Miami or something like that, and somebody was smoking in the room. You know, they bailing out, oh, we got a report of y'all smoking. And nobody in here smoked. It was the person who was next to us. So if they ready to beat your ass about smoking in the room, come on now. Y'all can't put out somebody that's strangling somebody in the other room. All right, Bellagio, we see you. I'm not posting the video. This is the first vacation we've been on since last July. With the whole pandemic thing. Oh yeah, somebody asked, am I vaccinated? Yes. I wasn't supposed to get the vaccine, but I am, because I'm very immunocompromised. There was a nurse that came in my comments and said, I get a line infection. I'm so sorry. I know, because I have had a septic line infection with my PICC line. So yes, the reason why this is out and open because I took a shower and my skin has to, if you see, I have like idiopathic urticaria. So all of this is red. Any kind of adhesive just breaks me out. So I'm trying to let it dry, get some air before I put that adhesive on it, because the minute I put that adhesive on it, I get the weeping, oozing stuff. So, yeah. No, not that we know of. No. Nope. Yeah, the cop that found her, that carried that baby out of that hotel room, after she was raped. I'm out of town. My son's at a track meet, and they said that my son. They tweeted that my son jumped over 6'3". Yay, son! My son is track and field, varsity football, varsity basketball. My daughters dance for the Chicago Bulls, the Junior Level Bulls. So we are like busy. So we needed this vacation because like our kids are so busy with everything, and we're new homeowners and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. But yes, that cop, he cried. He cried after he got that baby out of that room. He cried. Yeah. I saw that. That video was insane. No, we don't know what happened to the dude. When we were moving rooms, he was still over there. Nothing happened. I mean, they told us that they couldn't tell us anything. It was an internal issue. Yeah, it's crazy out here, y'all. It is really, really insane. And I don't know. Like I say, when I go home, I am going to think about this young lady for a very, very, very long time. No, I mean, we reported it. It's like, even when we move rooms, we can hear people next door to us having sex. I don't complain about noise. I don't be caring, because I know people have sex in rooms. I don't care. As long as I don't hear nobody getting beat up, we don't care. I am not the kind of person that calls and complains about everything. If you having good sex next door and that headboard is hitting and I hear you moaning and screaming, that's just motivation for us to do what y'all doing. We don't care about noise complaints. We reported someone being strangled because we heard her being strangled. I can't breathe. Charles, stop. Ugh. She's vomiting. So that's why we called, because she was being murdered. Damn it, she was being strangled next door. Other than that, they was having sex. We wouldn't gave a shit. I wouldn't have woke up. So I don't be caring about that. Yeah, anything. Listen, Share the videos, share my videos, put them in contact. I mean, whatever y'all want to do. I am not going to be silent on this issue. I will always advocate for women, period. Domestic violence, men and women. Let's put that out there too. Men can be domestic violence victims also, whether that's through a same-sex partner or their girlfriends. It happens. So I advocate for domestic violence survivors, period. No matter the relationship, no matter if it's same sex, no matter if it's trans, no matter. I don't care. My gay friends are so much more better to me than my straight friends. I love my gay friends. Like, I love them. And I was talking to one of my gay friends about it too, and he was like, girl, I would have went next door and took my stiletto. Like that's kind of like the laughing that I needed to just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But he was, my gay friend was like, baby, you did what you could. So no matter what the relationship dynamic is, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, pimp, hoe, whoever, same sex, trans, I'm going to advocate for you because it's the right thing to do. I don't care about minding my business. I don't operate like that. So, yeah, it's been a lot. I wish more people would speak up too. When people put that fear aside and just do what they feel is right, I feel like a lot of people do, but I do understand that it's a lot of shaming that goes into that, and I don't want to bring that kind of attention to my family and stuff like that. I mean, the worst could happen. Absolutely. Somebody could be mad, and somebody on my life can be mad and figure out who I am or where I live. I mean, you come if you want to, but I mean, whatever. Oh yeah. Whenever a kid come through the ER, I was like, oh Jesus, I literally have to, and I cry about it because I have kids, and I don't understand how parents, or even if you aren't a parent, any kind of violence to a child, she might have been a kid, I don't know. And pimping these days, man, it's so more advanced. Like, they got fake IDs and shit. Come on, man. Like, honestly. And security probably wouldn't even been smart enough to know that. So maybe she was in a situation where she was underage, and if security handled that better, she probably would have been rescued. Maybe she was underage. I don't know. But when he's walking the strip, I did see a lot of women they look like they could have been young, but I ain't asking them. I mean, it is what it is. Mary, thank you. Michaela, thank you. Hell yeah, castration, cut his dick off. But that ain't gonna stop him from hitting nobody. But at least he can't get nobody pregnant. Yeah, that cop, he cried when they found that baby in that hotel room. Nothing happened after the second video. No, she wasn't pregnant. We're talking about, it was a video that a mom was walking with her daughter in their neighborhood, and a car pulled up with a guy in it, and he literally snatched the little 8 or 9-year-old from her mom. And in the Ring video, you can see that the mom was like holding on to the car to try to get her baby, and she fell off the car, and she's screaming that, you know, I'm gonna die. I think it took them about 6 hours to track down where this person went with this baby. They went to the hotel and they didn't see anything. The baby was inside of a clothing hamper with clothes on it. And when the police knocked, or whoever knocked, the first time that they came, that the guy said, if you say anything, I'll kill you. They left the room without searching it, and then came back to the room because somebody heard the baby screaming. And when the cops came, guns drawn, came in the room, they were looking for the baby. He had put her back into the hamper, put the clothes on, because he didn't open the door immediately. They're like, oh, open up, because they had a report that somebody heard a child screaming in this room, and it was the room that they were at with this guy. And when they came into the room, they immediately saw the blood on the bed, looked for the baby, and she was in the hamper, and they brought the baby out naked outside away from this guy. It was insane. All you gotta do is look up cops bust sex offender with child in hotel room or something like that. And it's a lot of other different issues, like the women selling their kids. I'm not gonna get into that. There are a lot of stories that y'all can read up on. One happened in Indiana. A lady sold her child to her drug dealer. The drug dealer was making pornographic videos with her child, streaming it. This was where I stay in Indiana. And he killed the baby. I don't think that he was arrested. No, we don't know anything. Charles Taylor, who was murdered in West Virginia, yes. Oh yeah, Tropicana is so ghetto. All of them, and then them hotels on Fremont, whoo, I'm sorry. It's a lot of other stuff. Yeah, Bellagio security is trash. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, if any news stations that you know, tag them in one of my videos and have them hit me up. I'm not from Vegas, so I don't know, what journalists to reach out to or whatever. Tag them in one of my Bellagio part 1, part 2 videos. Hopefully this live saves and I can put it on my profile so they can refer to it. But I don't know. The police came, but they were turned away. He could have killed her. Absolutely. It's insane. I get it. Yeah, I'm gonna hug my babies. I haven't told. Hey, my son. Oh my God, they're relay champions. My son's in back in Indiana at track meet. Yeah, my kids call me every 20 minutes and they like, how are you doing? I have to put on like this brave face, you know what I'm saying? But inside I'm still devastated. I'm sad, and I'm gonna think about her when I go home, because I can go home and go back to my life, and she's still gonna be wherever she is dealing with what she dealt with, and I feel like I failed her. Honestly, I feel so bad. Thank y'all so much. What you mean I should talk to a lawyer? I'm in counseling. Anyway, just because of my line of work, not because of this shit. I'm in counseling with my family. I'm still in counseling from what I went through as a domestic violence survivor, because I have to be reminded that because I have kids by my abuser. So I don't know what you're talking about. You have a nice day. Pisces brain, yes. Tag them, tell them hit me up. I'll talk to them. Definitely. Yeah, those cheap ass Fremont hotels, 26 cents a night. And we were down in Fremont. We was down in Fremont last night. Terrible. Yeah, this is the Vegas story. I can't remember the state it was in with the baby. If you Google like man snatches child from mom, takes her to, however you want to Google it, it'll pop up. It was all over the news. I can't remember the state, but I know it happened. And then the guy that was chasing after the lady and like beat her on this person's porch and dragged her. I want to say this dude's name was Charles. I want to say it is him. I don't know. No, it wasn't a baby involved in this one. I'm just using that as an example that somebody spoke up because they heard a child screaming in the room next door. And it just so happened to be a child, an 8 or 9-year-old, that was kidnapped earlier that day. And the person that kidnapped her was raping her in the next room. And when the police came in to get the guy, it was blood all over the bed because the guy had raped the little baby. So the story is out there. You can Google it. I don't even really like talking about it, but it happened. There was not a baby involved in this situation. This is a separate situation where somebody spoke up and saved that 8 or 9-year-old baby's life, but she is traumatized. I think that she had internal bleeding or something like that when they took her to the hospital. This is just me like reading about it behind the scenes, but she was definitely traumatized. There are a couple of people that I went to high school with that were in the news about raping kids, and one of them gave a child, his cousin, HIV that was a 8-year-old. So it's out there. So I mean, somebody spoke up and said something. A classmate of my husband's was married to a girl he went to school with, and the mother walked in on her husband raping her daughter. So it happens. I mean, y'all just gotta stop acting like it don't, because it does. Just if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. If nobody would have said something about that baby screaming in the next room, they would have not found that child alive. I got a couple more questions. Do I know if she's okay? No, I don't. They said that they would not release that information to us. It was an internal issue, and they were not at liberty to discuss that incident with us further. They told us no. So no, I hope she's okay, and I will definitely be thinking about her the rest of the time that we're here and when I get home. Thank you. This is my nurse friend. I know, Felicia, I'm sorry. I'm going to put a Tegaderm over it. I'm sorry. I will. I promise. Just letting it get some air because it's itchy. My skin around it is itchy. Yes. Sterile access, aseptic technique, 2 pairs of gloves. Gotcha. I got you, Felicia. Thank you so much for noticing that. Appreciate it. Like, for real. I should do better. All right, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all. Let me look and make sure that I answer pretty much everybody that's been like sending me requests and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. I think that's it, y'all. Hey, bosom buddy Bree. Hey, Bree, what's up, baby? I see you. Bosom buddy Bree. That's my homegirl from Indiana. That's crazy. What's up, hometown? What's up, classmate? Girl, I am okay. As okay as I'm gonna be. Just ready to get home to my babies at this point. So, getting there, Bree. Bree, I know you got a big following. You better share these videos, G-Ball. My homegirl, bosom buddy Bree, go follow her. She was on Ellen. She put curling irons, a 5th of Hennessy, eggs, pancakes, because she was finna go, packing her overnight bag, but she put her overnight bag in her titties. That's my homegirl. Go follow her. She was on Ellen. That's my homegirl, my classmate. Love her to death, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate all of the positive comments and things like that. Bree, shut up. I really, really appreciate all of the positivity. Like, y'all are so awesome. I definitely appreciate all of the positive comments and everything like that. And I basically am 100% wanting to bring awareness, because we have to attempt to help these people that are in situations where they can't help themselves, and whether they go back or not, or that still does not warrant us ignoring them. So I appreciate y'all. Did she get help? We don't know. The hotel refused to let us know. They said that it was a internal issue, and that they will be dealing with it internally. They don't disclose him. It's kind of like HIPAA, which it's kind of like them. They can't tell you if a celebrity is staying at a hotel or something like that, which is whatever. I mean, they told us that they couldn't tell us anything. So hopefully she does get the help that she needs, and that, that she deserves, because, it kind of sucks. Yeah, hopefully she's okay. But hey y'all, hi. Hopefully she gets the help that she needs, and she'll definitely be on my mind. But I gotta get out of here, y'all, to enjoy my last bit of time that we have out here, and hopefully I can enjoy the rest of my vacation, because it's been stressful being out here the last few days. But again, if anyone has journalists, news, anything like that, shade room, whoever, it doesn't have to be local, just anybody that would have interest in advocating and awareness about what's going on, please do not hesitate to share this video, comment at them, DM me. My DMs are open. My Instagram is at the number 5 feet, FEET, the number 4 inches, 5 feet 4 inches _219. My Instagram is private because I have a lot of family stuff on there. A couple people did DM me on Instagram, and I do see my message requests, so I will respond to those. What else? All in all, if you are positive and whatever, reach out. If you trolling, negative, anything like that, please save your breath, because I'm not going to respond. I have responded to enough negativity as it is with this video about I should have minded my business and I did it for room upgrades. I'm going to say it again. Husband and I, we ain't hard up for no money for no room upgrades. It's not even that serious. The room we in now is very expensive. Very expensive. At another hotel in Vegas. Very. So, trust me, we ain't hard up for no money. Yeah, I need to have a drink. I need to do something. I honestly just want to lay in bed and watch SpongeBob. And it's Saturday. Yeah, so SpongeBob doesn't come on until lately. I will try to have a good rest of my vacation. I'll definitely try. Yeah, my husband was finna bam on that door. But, you know, they could have saw him as a hero or an aggressor. And we already know how that's been going. No shade. I don't know what's been going on. They wouldn't let us know what happened to the lady. Nope. They told us pretty much, man, y'all damn business, we'll handle it internally. All right, let me have my husband say bye to y'all, and again, reach out to me even if y'all want to talk event. There are so many domestic violence survivors that are in these comments, and I love each and every one of y'all for y'all strength to leave, for y'all strength to speak up. It is just something that I would not. And this is just me speaking on what I went through. I know a lot of y'all have gone through similar and or worse. I have lost friends to domestic violence. And my husband is a prime example. My father is a prime example of the type of man that I would want my daughter to be with. And I'm not saying she has to be in a relationship. Just know what you won't tolerate. It could be friend abuse. It doesn't have to be an intimate partner or anything like that. It's just no abuse, period. And just with everything that's going on in the world, to where it's just nobody's protecting us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying black. I'm just saying women, period. No one's protecting us. No one's speaking up for us. No one's advocating, well, you should leave, or you should have known better. You just can't. Don't do that. Do not. Don't do that. And, you know, it's just a lot of things that we need to help each other through and not look for a reward for it. And I mean, I do random acts of kindness twice a year. I go to the grocery store. The guy that brings my bags out, we give him $200 tip. We go to stores or restaurants. We pay a couple tables bills. I mean, my husband and I, we do a lot of random acts of kindness that we don't film. But in this instance, had it not been on set, because that's what I'm saying. If I didn't have the recordings of this woman screaming for her life, they would have called us a liar. Oh, maybe they was having sex or whatever. No. I know what being strangled looked like because I've been strangled before. It's just that gurgling. Listen, that gurgling noise, that's how I knew. You can't get that sound. It's a unique sound. And I will never forget how it sounds. I'm telling you. Hey, Sammy, you gonna have to watch this live. If it says on my profile, watch it. If not, you can go watch part 1 and part 2. Thank y'all so much for all of the positivity things. People don't take stuff serious. No, they don't. And that really sucks, because if it was their mom or their sister or their family member or their daughter, they would have been on the news lambasting, oh, you all heard it and it didn't speak up. Okay, but I remember you were on someone's live telling us to mind our business. So yeah, Yeah, it literally, that sound, that gurgling sound of someone strangling you. If you've been strangled, you know that feeling. But if you've heard that, you will never hear that sound coming from somebody unless they're dying. That's that sound that they make. Thank y'all so much. The outcome, we don't know. They didn't tell us anything. They told us, it's internal, we'll handle it internally. Do you want free breakfast in the morning? Have a nice day. It was basically dismissive all of the time. They didn't help her at all. They let him back up in the room 5 minutes later after they took him away. 5-10 minutes later, he was back in the room and he was still whooping her ass when we moved rooms. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. All right, my husband's like, can we go? I sent him to the spa because you know what, my husband, oh my God, my husband is just the most amazing person ever in the world. And he was so, like, he's not emotional, he doesn't cry, but I could just tell that his spirit was just like. So I sent him to the spa. I got him, like, it was like an 80-minute massage with hot stones and stuff like that this morning. He just came back. So if y'all was watching my video from the beginning, I opened the door, he just came back from the spa. Because, like, he needed that. Besides his line of work, my husband works in the steel mills. But, you know, just that, I had to send him to the spa. Because that was tough. Nope. They didn't do anything. When we were leaving, about an hour after everything had started, once I woke up and we called and stuff like that, when we changed rooms, they were still over there in the room. Yeah, they were still in the room. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. All right, so thank y'all so much for joining me for this extended story time. I hope and I pray that this video saves. If not, I will post a couple of story time videos, kind of like summarizing what happened and things like that. Girl, the MGM Grand, oh man, I done heard so many stories about how they be handling stuff. Ain't no fucking way. I've heard about the MGM Grand story. Yeah, I've heard. And it's like I didn't want to change rooms because once we moved away, she didn't have, because it was going on for a while. I woke up like 20-30 minutes into it. My husband was like, hey, we need to call. And again, there were other people around. The people underneath this room called the police, and Bellagio told the police that they had it. So it was sad because I felt like once we left that room, her voice left. And there was nobody that was going to volunteer, because once the same people that were there before we said something, they wouldn't have said anything either. And I just felt bad because once we moved, her safety net or her voice or her 911 or whatever y'all want to call it, that left when we left the room. But I could not sit in that room and listen to him almost kill. I just can't. I couldn't. I'm sorry. That's why I asked for a room change, because they obviously were not going to put them out. But I wasn't going to sit there and listen through the wall of her getting beat up. And I don't think my husband would have I don't think I would have been able to restrain my husband any longer. So I did that because I didn't want my husband to be in a situation where this guy attacked or hurt my husband, or the police come and then now the roles have changed and then now my husband's the bad guy. You know how they twist shit around. So it was just a thing of me protecting my husband, but also protecting my sanity too, because I don't think I would have been, I'm not okay today. But listening to that all night, no, I couldn't. No, I will not post the videos. No, I can't. And I said it in the video earlier that if this is a person who's like estranged from their family, kind of like the R. Kelly situation, you know your daughters are in a shitty situation with somebody that does not treat them right, and you've been trying to reach out to them and get them out of that situation and stuff like that, and then the next thing you hear or see or whatever is your daughter being strangled or what. I'm not releasing these recordings publicly at all, unless a judge come holler at me in Indiana and say we need them recordings, sis, I will give them to who needs them. But to post them on here, no. Because if her family is truly worried about their child and they try to get her out of that situation with this person, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, pimp, hoe, whatever, and the next thing they know, there's a video posted of someone strangling their dog. No. I'm not gonna do that. I can't. And it's not about HIPAA. This is not HIPAA related. This is just respect for the family related. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a part 3 when I get home. I mean, if I get a chance to do story time when we leave here, we going to Denver and then we going home. Yeah, I hope whoever get the word out. Tag the Shade Room. Tag whoever. Tag the news. Tag CNN. Tag Don Lemon. Don Lemon, my homeboy. He interviewed me a couple of years back. I love Don Lemon. He's a nice guy. Yeah, all we can do is pray for her. I'm not posting the videos. I'm so sorry. I can't do that. Oh, and look at my son. Everybody go follow Slim Dataka. That is my son. And he on here talking mess. Ain't you supposed to be at your track meet? Get off my lap, dude. But yeah, my son Slim Dataka. Very, very popular TikToker. Gone viral. Honor student. Football player. Track star. Basketball player. Nike athlete, you name it, my son do it. Go follow. His name is Slim the Talker. He just put dude you just want attention, but he always say that. And that's messed up that people feel like you have to visibly see that someone has been hurt in order to validate them being hurt, which is a very, very wrong. It's wrong. I shouldn't have to come to the hospital with cuts and bruises for you to take a police report. I agree. And the casino should have something like when there's a call that comes in about someone being hurt or fighting or whatever, the police need to be involved. Period. I don't know if she's okay. They wouldn't tell us. Slim, oh, that's my son, Slim the Talker. Shut up, Silas. That's my son. He good. He just be talking. He good. Don't worry about it. You a weirdo, Silas. Shut up. Yeah. I'm holding. I'm a download them off of my phone and put them on a flash drive. That way I have them just in case it does come up. But yeah, that's Slim the Talker. That's my son. y'all ready to go to war for me? That's my son. He good. That's one of my kids. He cool. You are popular. Go follow my son. Go look at his videos. He hilarious. He went viral few times, a lot of times. He want to be a comedian. Everybody say he look like DC Young Fly. Go over there and talk shit on his videos. He real funny. Yeah, Pisces brain, do that. Tag him, call him. Listen, then they not following policy then. I mean, it's kind of like the safe haven law. Like, if you don't want a child, don't abandon them in the woods. Take them to a police station, a church that's open, police, ER, no questions asked. I mean, we have policies to protect people who would otherwise make poor decisions, and they need to have something in place to protect these women. If there is a woman that, calls downstairs while her abusers in the bathroom and they need help, immediately you need a task team to deal with that. Social work, police officer, preferably a woman police officer, because these men, I'm not saying all men like that, but I think a woman would be better way to deal with that woman emotionally if she's compassionate enough. Yeah, call the news, because Bellagio is wrong as hell for that. It's a safety issue, right? Because if my husband would have went next door because Bellagio refused to act and this man shot through the wall, or even if what if he had a gun and shot through the wall and we're just watching TV and one of us gets struck and killed? Come on now, it definitely could have went left, whether we said anything or not. He was mad, he was violent, he was drunk, he could have had a gun, he could have shot through the wall, and one of us could have got hit. We all know straight bullets don't have no names on them. Come on now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Bellagio. Bougie ass Bellagio. Come on now. You thought we was in Fremont dealing with that kind of stuff. Hey Cam, you gotta watch the part 1, part 2. If this video saves, you should be able to go back and look. I've been on live almost 2 hours, so no, we don't know, Cam. They told us that they couldn't let us know. You're welcome. Hey Mayday, appreciate that. The police were called by people who were underneath them, and Bellagio security told them that they weren't needed and turned them away. So yeah, the police were called. We didn't call the police. Another guest did. Another guest did that was underneath. I mean, the only thing that I could pursue right now with me being out of town, I don't live here, is calling awareness to it. Put it on the news. Put it in blogs. Just put it out there. Put it on the blogs. The Shade Room. The Shade Room has like 53 million followers. Put it out there. Cammy from Catfish commented on my video, and I was like, oh my god, I love Cammy from I love Cammy. Thank you, Cammy. If you see this, thank you so much for coming and commenting. I literally was gonna pass out. I love Cammy. Spread that. Trust me, Cammy saw it. If there are any other celebrities that see it and they share it and they do something like that, yes, bring awareness. I mean, like I said, I don't stay here, so there's really nothing that I can do to follow up about it with me being thousands of miles away in Indiana. I mean, while I'm here, if somebody want to come holler at me while we out here, we here till tomorrow. Yeah, we here till tomorrow. And I got to go back to work, but we got to go home and get kids and shit. But yeah, all of that stuff. Whoever want to, news, whatever, media, talk to me, tell them to hit me up. We here. We here. Yeah, send it to the Shade. Tag the Shade Room. Don't the Shade Room got a the only thing about like my Instagram and stuff, my Instagram is super duper private. So if you're not my friend, you can't see it. And it is posted there, but my Instagram is private. So I'm not opening up my Instagram for this because I do have a lot of like personal family stuff on my Instagram, and some of these comments I'm reading from these trolls, I would be pissed if they got a hold of like personal information, like pictures of my kids, and just be funny because they some dickheads, but whatever. I know the guy Charles was white. The guy that was hitting on him, because we looked through the peephole and saw him. He was a white male. I don't know, as if that mattered, but oops. Oh shit! Hey filter, my ugly ass. My lips right. We didn't see the young lady. She never came out of the room. Never. Only Charles did when the one young security guy came and said, hey, yeah, come on, take a walk. Talk to him for down the hallway for 10 minutes, and then they let him come back upstairs. So we don't know. Yeah, the Bellagio turned them away. Yeah, so we were on like the 20-something floor, and the people who were beneath the room that these people were in when they were fighting, they heard, because he was throwing her body around, he was throwing buckets, it was loud. It was very loud. So the people underneath them probably heard all that, stomping and banging and all that kind of stuff, and called the police, and the Bellagio told the police that they weren't needed, so they turned them away. Yep, they turned the police away. Police never returned because Charles was able to get back up into their room, and the abuse escalated. And that's when we had to move rooms after that, because they didn't handle it. If they handled it, Charles wouldn't have been upstairs. They would have had him leave. Now, that's not saying that he wouldn't have been able to sneak back in there some way, or that he would have had no contact with homegirl. I'm pretty sure she had a phone. I'm pretty sure he would have been coaxing her to leave the hotel because he didn't have anywhere to go. You know how abusers are. They make it seem like, oh my God, you're doing this to me, and blah, blah, blah. So whether he was put out or not, she would have either let him back upstairs some other way, or he would have talked her into leaving. And then at that point, she probably would have been on her own, unless somebody said something else. I don't know if they still there. Well, you see in my video, I told Charles, the security guy, the manager of security, you heard me. Well, can you go check and see if she's dead? Do it now. I don't know if they checked out. We checked out a couple days ago. I wasn't staying in that shit. Granted, the room at the Bellagio was free for us anyway, but free or not, I will never, and that's the thing, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened at the Cosmo. We at the Cosmo. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened anywhere else. But if I knowingly know that there is a place or a place of business that condones something that's not only wrong, but something that I've experienced as a woman, and you just letting that shit go on, then you don't get my business. I mean, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened in the Cosmo. I'm not saying that no other hotels have ever had this kind of issue where it doesn't happen. But I was not about to actively stay in the Bellagio when they condone domestic violence. I don't care what anybody says. The Bellagio condones domestic violence. Period. I hope she gets tough too. Yeah, man, he was slinging her ass around. Oh my God, y'all, it was. I'm dead. You ever watch like movies and they cut away, but the person is like getting beat up in the background, and you hear like that ooh ooh sound, like, oh my God, it was so loud. And that gurgling noise when somebody is strangling you. I got a cut on my lip. That gurgling noise when you're being strangled, baby, I will never forget the sound of that. And he was definitely strangling her. Security came up there when we called, but said it wasn't a big deal because they talked to both parties and she said it was okay. Yeah, let me address that. When I talked to the manager, we talked to both parties, meaning him and her, and they assured us everything was okay. What kind of idiot are you? Do you think that she's gonna sit there and say, well, yeah, he strangled me and he was whooping my ass and da-da-da? We don't speak up. And one thing about noticing domestic violence when it's in your face is, see, do the man speak for the woman? Do she answer? Does she look down? Does she make eye contact? When you ask her a question, does he speak for her? This is like 101 when it comes to recognize domestic violence. I'm sorry. Most places that I've worked with that isn't medical, we are trained to spot these signs. And the sign, he said, he told us everything. We talked to both parties, and she said that it was okay. Did you think she was gonna say that it wasn't okay? Come on, Bellagio, y'all dumb as shit. Y'all stupid. We talked to both parties. I'm pretty sure you talked to both of them, but only one of them was able to respond to you. He didn't say that they separated them or nothing. Y'all talked to them together. Do you think that she was really gonna say, oh yeah, he chokes me and throw me around the room? No. That's domestic violence noticing the signs 101. Does she talk? Does he answer for her? Does she look up and make eye contact with you? Them the 3 cardinal rules of noticing domestic violence. If you see those 3 things, it's probably a problem, Bellagio. I'm starting to just relive these moments because I wasn't able to talk. And I knew if I said something, and once these people leave, I was... Niggas are dumb. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we don't say it, so is there everything not okay? I live in Indiana, but I'm currently in Las Vegas. I don't know. We left. What you mean, me not wanting to call? People call. I called, and the people beneath them call. And that's the thing. Unless it's like a situation where metro, like a shooting or something, these these hotels have every right to tell Metro to mind their business, especially if they employ their own private security, whether it be armed or unarmed. They don't have to let Metro into their hotel. And again, at the Bellagio, even if security came in another way, or if they walked in or whatever, I mean, they're gonna say, yeah, we got a call about this and this and that. And the Bellagio could have said, you know, they said, well, no, we can handle it. But regardless, even if they didn't stop at the front desk or tell security or anything like that, security gonna say, well, oh yeah, what's up? Because it's a security person, unarmed, older guy that stands by the elevator, and you have to tap your key to show them that you're even staying there. And then when you get into the elevator, you can't access any of the floors without that key. So regardless if they walked past security and was like, fuck y'all, they still would need the assistance of Bellagio security to get upstairs, because you can't access the rooms without a key. So whether Metro wanted to do the right thing at that time, they still would have had to go through Bellagio, period. So it's Bellagio's fault. Maybe they wanted to check it out and Bellagio told them no. I don't know. I know they came and they were turned away. That's what we were told. Huh? Oh yeah. We go Target. Oh, it was too expensive at Target. It was too expensive at Target. What other place can you Google, like if it's a Walmart or some shit around here? I know it's a mall when you go down to about like the Las Vegas area. I'm finna get off now. Because people keep asking me questions. Sorry. No, I didn't see how she looked. Even if somebody called and said, hey, something room number, they probably did not. They were even there. They'll ask you for the name. I didn't see her. I don't know if she's okay. I saw him through the peephole. White guy with a ponytail. Reddish brown hair. The hotel told the police that it was handled. They turned him away. Yo, what's up? We moved rooms and then I checked out because they didn't help her. You checked out? I agree. It needs to be some kind of training done to notice those signs. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's NBA draft weekend. NFL draft. It's packed out here. Packed. The pool is packed. Everywhere is packed. It's packed. Fremont, packed. Yeah, they're not trying to lose that money. UFC fights out here the next couple of weeks is they not trying to lose that revenue. I didn't talk to the girl, no. No, he won't, because if they were put out or they were told to leave, he did it wherever they ended up next. Whether that's walking on the strip or back at the house or another hotel. And that's the thing. Hotels need to communicate these kind of things too, because if they checked in and it's under his or her name, it needs to be a flag with that, like past history of issues at hotels related to domestic violence. That way that when they check in, if they're checking in under her name or his name, that there's already like an alert in the system to where the hotels communicate. So let's say the Bellagio said, okay, you know what? Y'all can't check in here no more. But it's 65 million other hotels that are on the strip. So it needs to be some kind of a, and it kind of goes along the lines of like being profiled too. But in these situations where you have somebody that checks into these rooms and you know it's a volatile situation, it needs to be a system to where if this person under this name or that name checks into your property, you know, there were incidents where the police were called for this issue, you know, please keep an eye out or whatever like that. That way that the properties are on notice that something could potentially happen. Not saying that it will always happen, but that people are made aware. She sucked the nigga. Ooh, they said suck the nigga. So I got the pink slip off whiskey lips. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me this afternoon, morning. So we can put things out on the table, clear up a couple of things. Again, if there are any news outlets or blogs, Shade Room, CNN, whoever that you want to tag or send anything, I'm more than happy to talk to raise awareness to this issue. And let's continue to advocate. Let's continue to help people that need help, regardless of whether other people feel it is wrong or not. All right. I've never done live on TikTok, so I don't know if this is gonna save at all. But if it doesn't, I will do story time video, make 2-3 at the most, to like give everyone a summary about what happened. Because we did cover a lot in this live this morning, so I'm hoping that it saves, and that way people can watch it and get the information that we've been talking about all morning. But I really appreciate all of the positive comments, even the people who have been negative. I appreciate you too, but I hope and pray that you are never in a situation where you have to bury a female or a male family member because they died at the hands of another person. And I pray that you don't ever have to go through that ever with anybody in your family, because it's not okay, and it is not. It's not. Oh, it doesn't say. Darn it. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do story time a bit later, but I gotta get out here and spend some time with my husband and stuff and all of that stuff. So thank y'all again so much. My name is Destiny. Nurse from Indiana, newlywed, mom of 3, nurse, teen mom, all that kind of stuff, domestic violence advocate. But yes, share the videos. Let's get people involved so we can help these women, not only in Las Vegas but everywhere. Thank you. I feel ugly. Look, listen, normally I don't be, you know what I'm saying, like I got my hair did and all stuff to come out, but literally, like, I feel like I ain't as cute as I could be. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me have my husband say, my husband say bye to y'all real quick, because he like, why this door so heavy? It's loud up in here, y'all. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me.